Generation X. Generation X.
Generation X. This is Generation X.
Boys and girls, the new generation. Call it generation of love. Boys and girls, the new generation. Call it generation of love.
Tell you don't give a fuck about me and my generation. Generation X.
Exclusive. First airplane on GL0WKiD Generation X. Generation X. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
greater, who does it better, who does it whatever. Because first is forever. Scientist mix.
So we're not closing my mix with a brand new track by DJ Terras out on his EP on PPJ Recordings. It's available digitally and you can grab it now on ppjrecordings.bandcamp.com. So a good straight pass to my interview part, the main guest, the special guest for tonight's show, which is the man like DJ Terras. A man that I discovered about a month ago. I played twice on my show a couple of his tracks, and the rest is history.
This is the Strictly New School blog with exclusive interviews, track reviews, free tunes and exclusive tunes to give away, mixes and information on events. www.strictlynewschool.blogspot.com is where it's at. You know it makes sense.
Hey, how you doing, people? This is Leroy Thornhill, and you're listening to GL0WKiD on Generation X radio show. Keep it locked.
Let's go!
This is Eamon from Liquid. You are listening to the one and only GL0WKiD.
Stay updated with all the latest GL news. Generation X radio show. Prodigy Fanboy and Strictly New School blog. www.glowkidmusic.blogspot.com. All the W's, glowkidmusic.blogspot.com. All the W's, glowkidmusic.blogspot.com.
And now I'm very happy to present you one more essential interview. Basically, it's all about the talent. One of those sophisticated new blood producers that I've discovered a month ago over SoundCloud at Bandcamp. His breakbeats are completely smashing, and I call him man of the moment. Ladies and gents, the man like DJ Terras is with us. Hello Danny, welcome aboard.
Hey, hello Perry, thank you for having me, GL0WKiD. The man, thank you, man.
How's things there in your end?
It's good. Everybody's surviving this end, so yeah, man, it's all good. It's all about making beats and breaking those boundaries open.
Exactly, that's the best formula to defeat any negativity, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Wicked. As I said before, and also in private, yeah, there's 3 incredible personal albums from you on your Bandcamp page during this year, all been released. And I mean that this stuff is huge, man, you know. However, let's take it from your springboard. How long have you been producing, and what forced you to experiment with music?
Okay, so I've been producing, and thanks again for, you know, for liking those albums, man. They are a labour of love. So I've been producing for some time. So I was around back in 91, 92, so making stuff, not under the Terrace guys, but under a different sort of name. And then I had a massive break. I had a 17, 18 year break.
Sorry to interrupt you. Do you want to share with us in which project?
We went under the name, I was working with another guy, and we went under the name of Slick Cut. We had a tune out, and it was good, and I made a few other little bits as well. But I was heavily influenced from hip hop, so my influence is massive hip hop. So 88 hip hop, 89 hip hop, that's my love in terms of putting into the music. And so I had this huge break, and then about 3 or 4 years ago, I know a load of local DJs, Criminal Minds being one, the famous Go With The Flow track, obviously. Another guy is Keith Hurley, who was a big influence me in this area. And I got back in touch with Keith, this guy, and he said, I don't know why you're not making music again. So about 3 years ago, I started to make tunes again, and what you see in front of you, or what you hear in front of you, is what I've been doing. So it's like all those ideas that I rested for those years that I was out, I've now started to broaden and come open again, and yeah, it's been good. I'm loving it. I'm loving it because the revival is phenomenal at the minute. The revival for the hardcore, the sound, the happy hardcore, the old school jungle sound, it's all there, man, and I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Yes, Danny, that's what I meant to ask you. How did you see, and if you follow the current scene, you know, how do you see it at the moment? All these producers, new labels, all this stuff, you know, you see an evolution. Do you see something fresh? What did you see actually?
Yeah, very much so. It was that original sound, but brought bang up to date. So absolutely crisp. I think the production now is so crisp. It's unbelievable. Yeah, you want a little bit of that harshness, but it's the crispness. It's that. So you can pump those tunes so nice and loud now, and they don't distort, they don't go out, they don't move. They just sound really crisp to the ear. And yeah, I'd say without a doubt, they're so strong. In the last 2 or 3 years, even just in that short space of time, the music is moving on. It's whereas it was a niche before, I think it's very much stuck now, and I think it's only going to grow. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Any good record that you have heard recently and you rate it?
Yeah, there's some good stuff on Tough Tunes. I don't know if you know Tough Tunes, but
of course.
Yeah. Some good stuff on Tough Tunes. I love the recent DJ Ham stuff. The 10-inch is wicked, actually. That's just come out. It's unbelievable. And then obviously the Time Tunnel stuff is wicked as well. I love that.
Totally agree, man. Totally agree with everything. Yeah.
So yeah.
And what about yourself? You know, your equipment. What do you use at the moment?
So I'm slightly a traditionalist. I've got a few Akais still, and I literally sample from record. So I do it the old way because that's the way I know. And I take the samples off record, put them in the sampler, and then I put them into the DAW. And that's the way I do it. I search for samples through records, man. I don't really go for lots of, sort of ready-made samples off the net. I take them off the records. I've got quite a lot of records, old and new, and I'll take anything that I think works in a tune. So that's the way I do it.
Heads up for the listeners that cannot view at the moment what I'm watching at. Danny's backdrop is totally old school, guys. Everything he has mentioned, he has everything on his background. So if someone reads your Instagram description, says something like a DJ or producer who has a very particular set of skills.
Yeah.
Let's say, introduce yourself to this one, you know, if somebody doesn't know you. how can you describe yourself? You know, your style.
I think that's a tough one. That's that's a real tough question. I think a particular style in tune in what I have is I literally can see anything in a sample and make a tune from a sample. You know, I come from that background of a scratch DJ with scratching, the hip hop vibe, and I don't think there's a record you can not pick up and take something off to make something from. So in terms of skills and produce, that's why I say I've got a particular set of skills. Yeah, I could probably take an album and make a tune from an album. It's that straightforward, just by mashing sounds and making beats. So yeah, that's what I would say. That's definitely what I would say.
And I'm still very curious, man, looking at you, and I'm still wondering if you got in touch with any label over these 3 years, let's say. If anyone approached you, you got any feedback, any official feedback in overall? Can you tell us?
I have, yeah. I've had some good feedback, but I haven't really pushed to go to labels yet. So I've literally, with some help from obviously knowing yourself as well, but I have had some great feedback. I've got a release which is really good, a digital release which is coming out on PPJ very soon. They're really great guys over there.
Shout out to Andrew from PPJ over US.
Yeah, massive. Really good guys. Really want the best for their artists and the scenes. Obviously they sign the tunes individual, but that's great. And they've pushed it and given me a chance there. So that's coming out on the 4th of June. And some of the labels that I have contacted, they've only come back with good things to say. So I'm still out here, still looking for some labels. But yeah, man, there's some coming back to me. So it's all good. At the minute, it's good.
And I've also noticed that you have done recently a mix for BBC Introducing.
Correct, yes, I have, yeah. So I did a 20-minute, 25-minute mix for BBC Introducing. They really loved the old school sound when I uploaded a few tunes to them. They absolutely loved it. So invited me on for a mix, which I did. And I loved doing it. It was great. It was good. It was really, really good, man.
So I suppose tonight it's your second interview ever, or
this is my second interview ever. Yeah, with the famous GL0WKiD. With the
I wasn't fast enough, but hopefully this one will be very let's say lucky to get something really good, a good signing. Because guys, I mean it, DJ Teras, and I can see him at the moment and confirm it that he's a really down-to-earth guy. A man who has it, honestly, he has those skills. That's why he has put it also in his description. And what is the dream, the actual dream of DJ Teras?
I tell you, the first part of the dream is to get some vinyls out, because that's the big thing at the minute. And like everybody, I know vinyl pressing is a nightmare at the minute, or plants all over the world. But yeah, get some vinyls out, get onto a label as a permanent signing to a label, an exclusive if you like, and just do this. I don't do this full time, but I'm doing this. Listen, when I get in from work, I'm doing this solid. So I'm doing this like all night, every night, at the weekends, like lots of people. And man, I would just love to do this all the time. Get some gigs in as well, I think. Go DJing somewhere for a little bit.
When you DJ, what type of tracks do you blend? What do you choose? What style?
I would always mix it up a little bit. So I've got a lot of old hip hop. So I would take a lot of old 12s and then 45 them into hardcore, jungle, and even drop, obviously house. So I would speed a bit of house up and drop that. I'm not sticking to the norm. I would mix it up big time, but obviously for your mix, I've done the terrace tunes.
Yeah, we're going to speak about it in a while. Then if I ask you what's, you're a man, you're a UK guy, pure UK guy who has lived the rave from its early days. If I ask you now what's the best era, the best rave era, or the best period, what would you say?
The best period? The main period?
The best year, let's say, the best year.
Okay, the best year for me in terms of, I'd say 92. 92 for me. Massive year, massive breakthrough year. That's when the break started to happen, and that's when the music was just phenomenal. The music was phenomenal, man. Every tune that came out was in its own guise. It had its own identity. You so many big tunes back there. They're very well known now, but when they dropped back then, they were huge. You had an anthem playing every other track, mate. It's just mad, you know, to get that in a venue. And then I remember walking into the shops in those days, into the record shops, and I'm talking normal shops, and their top 10, their top 20, that was all rave, and that was all, and that's their dance chart. There wasn't house in there. That was just what it was, and that was the normal shops. That wasn't the specialist dance shops. So that was an era that was pretty golden for me, when we used to walk in there and just see wall to wall, but you couldn't afford them all. Man, it was phenomenal.
What would you say is your best record from '92? What's also the game changer? What tune was the game changer for hardcore? Which one do you pick?
Oh, that's a tough one. Sheesh, that's a real tough question.
Take your time.
I'm trying to think now. You know, there's that many. There's I think there was a. I remember buying a Tone Deaf record on Moving Shadow, and it was just the breaks on that time of sort of bomb scare and those classic breaks. So I think along with probably Runting's Suburban Bass, they're probably the records that changed things. And then again, around here, the tune that was huge, because I've got it on a test press white label, is the Go With The Flow tune from the Criminal Minds. So I've got their first hip hop album as well, which was Guilty As Charged, and you can see a lot of the samples on that album transfer onto the Go With The Flow tune, which was on I think it was on a double pack. It was on a double pack, that tune originally, and it was Dance of the Parasites.
And not worthy to mention that Criminal Minds are still out there. DJ Spatch still producing.
Yes, yeah.
Can you name me, please, your top 5 records of all the time?
So, top 5 records of all time for me. Let's start with. I'm going to go a bit hip hop here and a bit. So, one of the seminal records for me from that hip hop guy is LL Cool J, and it will be Mama Said Knock You Out. Fantastic tune. It's a bit of an inspiring record. I think when I listen to that tune, it makes you want to go and do things. It makes you want to try and succeed, you know. Mama Said Knock You Out, but it's just that whole, his rapping in that, the rhyme in that, everything about that tune inspires me to push and make it and push harder and harder. It's just a great seminal track, and Marley Marl on the production of that is keeps it fresh. Prodigy, Out of Space, wicked. I think the breaks, the reggae samples, everything about it, the Cool Keith samples, everything's going on in that tune, and then the beats in there as well, man. They just do it. They just do it every time. So that's a wicked tune. That is a wicked tune. Probably a Seduction track's got to be in there. DJ Seduction, I think. Probably it might be Come On. I think I can't remember the original one, but there's a wicked tune. Again, I think it's the breaks on that I love from that point of view. God, this is a hard question, you know. It's a very hard question. I'll tell you what I do like, which is a track that I think. Just as of late, I do like a lot of Armand Van Helden tunes. There's a couple of tracks that Van Helden has done. The Funk Phenomenon, I do like a lot. So it's a big tune. It's a wicked tune as well.
Wicked.
Probably the last tune, Mantronics. Let's go for King of the Beats. It's the ultimate B-side for me. It's not the A-side, but it's the B-side, and it's got an Amen on it, and it's got lots of little breaks on it, and I just love the way Mantronics used to tape cut, edit the tracks, because that's what he did. He didn't do it on a PC or anything like that. He used to edit the cuts using the tape. So Mantronics for me is a massive influence. I think the fact that he's been around for so long and he's done a lot, and just his edits, breaks, everything, production.
As you said, the best B-side for you ever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So let's go to listen to it at the moment. What is the busiest rave you have attended in general?
The busiest, one of the busiest ones was, I think that was, God dear, it was one where the Prodigy was playing, I think, because the Prodigy played at the Sanctuary in Milton Keynes, which is obviously my area, and that was absolutely massive. It was absolutely smashed. I can't remember what the event was, but they were huge. They were huge at that point, man. They were massive, and that was before they started to do the big stadium tours. So that was when they were doing Your Love and Charlie and What Evil Lurks, all that original stuff.
Can I guess that the Prodigy is your number one inspiration, or?
They're big, yeah, without a doubt. I've got. I obviously have a few. I've got a few tunes.
Wow.
So yeah, I've got quite a few, and yes, they are a massive inspiration. Yeah, without a doubt.
For those listening at the moment, Danny has just showed me 2 vinyls, Baby's Got a Temper and One Love from the Prodigy.
Yeah, hey, you got to have that one as well, because that's a bit of a classic.
And of course the first record, but is this the original one? The 7,000 copies, I think. No, 7. How many?
There was, I think it was 6,500. I think it was 6,500, wasn't it? The original.
Like that, yeah, the first one, official one.
But yeah, so they were a huge influence. Again, Liam come from that old hip hop vibe, the Cut to Kill stuff.
Exactly.
So for me, yeah, I've got a few Cut to Kill records as well, and the influence of him using the critical beatdown breaks off the Ultramagnetic MCs, not just the vocal but the breaks he used, were essential to that sound. The breaks are phenomenal, by the way. Obviously, what he decided to pick off there, fantastic. Yeah.
As we are waiting to their forthcoming track, as he announced 2 days ago, it's a new version of Breathe among RZA from Wu-Tang Clan in the vocals. So, what are your forthcoming plans, your next plans? Any releases? Anything new on your Bandcamp?
There is obviously the 3rd release on there currently, but the latest release, which will be the PPJ release on the 4th of June, which I mentioned earlier, and then I'm hoping to be on another label very, very soon, man. So the future plans, for anybody out there, I have probably over 50, 60 unreleased tracks pretty much ready to go. So there'll be more from the famous stamp logo as well on the Bandcamp.
So this is a big calling to any label manager listening at the moment, guys. DJ Terras, you can find him on SoundCloud, on Instagram, and on Twitter, right? Any email to get in touch?
Yeah, it's my email is ripthecut@gmail.com. Cut spelled with a K.
Roba, so time to enter now to your guest mix. Would you mind introducing it to us? What tunes have you decided to drop, and anything else?
Yeah, so I think there's around about 7 tunes in the guest mix, 7 or 8 tunes in the guest mix. Starts off, I sample a lot of 60s and 70s little special bits, and one of the tunes starts off with a big tune from that type of sampling era, and it moves forward to some special one-off sort of dub plates in there, and then moves forward and just mashes up, man. It just goes for it. There's lots of hardcore influence in that one. There's a great piano track in there as well. So this is the DJ Terrace GL0WKiD mix, man. It's wicked, and I hope you enjoy it. And peace out to the master. Thank you very much for this.
Pleasure, and I'm honestly very happy, pushing out people and good people. I can see it in your eyes, that you mean what you do, what you create. Honestly, it comes from your heart, you feel it. And keep on your smashing breakbeats, and may the force be with you, man.
Peace out, man. Nice one, GL0WKiD.
Big up.
Big up, man.
So it's time for some music and some Terras tracks, right? Off to listen now to the exclusive guest mix by the man like DJ Terras, Loud and Proud crew, and you can get it at UK Scores even just before the Euro 2020 kicks off. So let's roll like this.
Deep the wings of the bluebird as she
Wish I was a carousel. I would weave a magic spell. Wish I was a carousel. I would weave a magic spell. Wish I was a carousel. I would weave a magic spell. Wish I was a carousel. I would weave a magic spell.
Radio, DJ Terras on the guest mix.
Because we're the ones who create. We're gonna have to be the ones to clean it up. We're gonna have to learn to love each other.
Hey!
totally smashing. UK scores, DJ Terra scores, absolutely smashing mix. Big ups to the man himself, label managers, take a notice of this great talent. My massive shout out to each and everyone inside the amazing Night Force Radio chatroom crew today. Woo! It was smashing, honestly, guys. Crisp breakbeats. So, catch you up again next Tuesday, same glow place, same glow time. Remain on Night Force Radio. Himoko coming up next, and the next it's the Team Tuesday and a big special glow night from Athens. Καλό βράδυ από Αθήνα σε όλους.
See you next week. Same bad time, same bad station.
Τώρα είναι ασφαλές να κλείσετε τον υπολογιστή σας.
Generation X. Generation X.
www.nightforceradio.com